Hi guys, today we're going to talk about polynomials. And polynomials, poly just means many or multiple, and nomials mean terms. Okay, so when we're talking about polynomials, we're just talking about terms. And there are different types of polynomials. So there are monomials, which mono is one. So this is one term. And it would look like this, 5x squared. Or 5x squared yz. Since there's no addition or subtraction sign, that's a monomial. Then we have a binomial. Let's do purple. We have binomials, and we work with binomials a lot. Binomials are two terms, and they look like this, 5x squared plus 3x. That would be a binomial because we have two terms. They're separated by an addition or subtraction sign. And then the last one is a trinomial. Trinomial. Okay. Tri is 3. This is 3 terms. So it might look something like this. Sorry. It might look something like 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. Terms are separated by an addition or subtraction sign. So this is one term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. So that would be a trinomial. Anything with more terms than that is just generalized as a polynomial. Okay, so that's all we need to know about those words. I know they're big words. So now we're going to talk about the degree of each. How would we find them? And the degree of a monomial, what you have to do is you have to add up all the exponents on the variables. Okay, so not the exponents on a number. So if 5 was squared, we would not include that. So we're just going to look at the variables. And since we have x squared, so that we have a 2 there, the y, there's no power showing, which means it's the power of 1. So we would have to add 1 for that and add 1 for the z because that also has no power. So it looks like this. So the degree of this monomial would be 4, or this term, because a monomial is one term. So for this one term, the degree is 4. You would add them up. Okay, now when you're looking at a polynomial with more than one term, so this binomial or the trinomial, we're going to look at which one has the highest degree. So if you look here, the degree of this monomial would be 2. There's only one variable, and the degree is 2. And if you look on this one, the degree of this one would be 1 because the x has no power, meaning it's just to the first power. We don't need to write that. So the degree of this binomial would be 2 because it would be the highest term degree. Okay, the degree of the highest term. Okay, so let's take a look at this trinomial. When we look at this trinomial, the degree of this term here is 2. And the degree of this term here is 1. And the degree of this term here is 0, since there is no variable there. It's 0. So the degree of this polynomial or this trinomial would be 2 because that's the highest degree of that polynomial. So you have to look at each one and see which one has the highest, each term in which term has the highest degree. Now, when we're going to put a polynomial in standard form, that means we want it by degree, the highest degree first, and then descending from there. So if I had, let's say I had 5x plus 3x squared minus 8. If I wanted to put that in standard form, I would have to look at the degrees. So let's look at the degrees for each one. The degree of 5x, that's the degree of 1. The degree of 3x squared has a degree of 2. And the degree of 8, which is a constant, is 0. Okay, so if I rewrite this in standard form, I would do 3x squared plus 5x minus 8. That is in standard form. And that's how I would write that. One of the things to know about a polynomial or a monomial is that the exponent cannot be a fraction. So x to the 1/2 power is not a monomial. Or if I said 4 over x, that would not be a monomial. Or if I said 4 to the x power. Okay, so it has to be, the exponent has to be an integer, meaning a whole number, and the variable cannot be in the denominator. Okay, those are all the things you need to know about polynomials as a heading.